Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, recording live from my mobile studio in Nashville, Tennessee. And we've got Kaitlyn Bristowe explaining how she became the lead of The Bachelorette. She actually says the higher-ups didn't want her to be the Bachelorette, explains who helped her out, and she actually discusses marriage versus being engaged and honeymoons, all of this with Grocery Store Joe. We're going to get to some of those clips in a second here. And I also wanted to give a shout-out, if you haven't already and want to check out my stand-up comedy, I just posted my show from Zany's in Nashville from Monday night. Here's a quick clip.
But I made it to Monday night in Nashville. Here we are.
All right, there it is. So you can go check out that stand-up clip if you want on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. And also, I wanted to give this a shout-out because it's a really tough situation here. But a friend of our family, a friend of our community here, they're honoring the loss of a boy that I believe they're the teacher to, or what were the teacher to this student here. He passed away, and if anyone in the community wants to donate, they've already reached their goal that they're raising for their funeral. But hey, a few extra bucks can't hurt, and I posted this yesterday on one of our Vanderpump videos, but I wanted to make sure I shared it as well with the Bachelor community because I know you guys can be so generous. I'll post a link in the comment section below if you want to read the GoFundMe and possibly donate a few bucks or help out any way that you can because whenever a family's grieving, to at least have the funeral costs covered and things like that, it really goes a long way. Okay, let's get into this story here. 3 clips I'm going to share with you guys from Kaitlyn Bristowe's podcast, Off the Vine. She's now fully on YouTube, so definitely hit the... Oh, I haven't subscribed. Look at that. I got to hit the subscribe button right there. Hit the alert bell, too. Do all that. Get your alerts. Hit the like button. Come on. Do all the things you need to do to help promote a video. And let's listen to what she has to say.
Yeah.
And your family's probably the same way.
Yeah.
So is married life different from engaged life?
No, same thing.
Same thing.
Agreed.
Yeah, nothing's different.
Not even. I mean,
I
that
mean,
night.
like if you break up, it's gonna be different.
That's a good
Like
point.
that.
A little more legal fees.
Yeah, like that's definitely different. But,
That's a good point.
Besides that, like no, nothing's different.
All right, we know what's coming
All right,
up.
so that's the quick answer. Nothing is different, and I agree. Other than what you wear the wedding ring now, maybe if you get engaged early on. I mean, he got engaged early on, but they probably lived together. In today's world, most people. I'm not judging how you do this, but most people will live together before getting married. I think it's a good idea. You find out your partner's crazy. I mean, maybe you don't fight at all, and then you live together, and you only have one sink to share, and you get the toothpaste on the side of the thing. There's whatever spray on the mirror, you know what I mean? Live together first. Okay.
Spaghetti sauce?
I do. Sundays with Joe.
I was telling her it's the best I've ever had.
It's great.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Ask me.
Where do you want to have your honeymoon?
Maldives and Italy.
So both.
Yeah, I want to go to Maldives and do like the chill over the
She
water
wants a honey and then a
bungalow.
moon.
Yeah, I want the honey and then the moon.
So Tasha and I, my wife, we already did our honeymoon in Bali, but we also booked Maldives because we wanted to do it. And because you have to book it so far in advance, it's actually turning into our 1-year anniversary trip. And we'll be doing that in a couple months. But yeah, Maldives is so beautiful. It's just so far away, just like Bali, so far away.
I want like it's a long flight, but I want the over the water bungalow with the slide coming out of my room into the water. And then I want to go to Italy.
Okay.
What about you?
So I booked a flight to Rome.
Have you been?
Yeah, booked
Okay.
a flight to Rome and a hotel in Bali. So
Oh.
anyone that wants to help us figure that out.
Hey, you know what you should do? Priceline.
Have you
Okay.
booked Bali yet?
No, we're just gonna do Italy. But
Oh,
what I
okay.
did was I booked a bunch of shit, and then I was like, "Where do we?"
But Bali has so many beautiful villas that are like very affordable.
So
You
I have
should
an
go-
issue with Bali.
What?
It's far. Like it's
It's
like
Oh, it's
really
literally
far.
like 2 days of travel.
yeah,
It's 22 hours.
and
No,
then-
it is like 35. It is so
Depends
far.
where you're going
Yeah.
from.
That's actually true.
Yeah, it's about 22 hours of travel. But it's a lot, and it's a long way to go. And most of the cost of traveling across the world are the flights, and then the hotels can be more affordable and things like that. So if you have the wherewithal, I say you got to at least travel for a few weeks.
Fine.
and then it's like you go all the way out there, and what I'm worried about, and I'm gonna sound ignorant, but what I'm worried about is going out to Bali and then being like, well, like I could have probably did this in Mexico.
So he says, I could probably do this in Mexico. I'll tell you this, Joe. Mexico is beautiful. We sleep on Mexico because for a lot of people it's close and easy to get to, but Mexico is so beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world if you're talking about the Yucatan Peninsula. I mean, there's a million. I mean, Mexico City's beautiful. The Oaxaca. Am I pronouncing that right? Puerto Escondido, if you want to be on the West Coast. Loreto, beautiful places in Mexico. Bali's just different.
You're not wrong, because
You know?
I've been.
Yeah.
So on Chris Soule's season of The Bachelor, when it was the final 3, we got to go to Bali. And I was there for 8 days. There's something a little more special about it.
Yeah,
Well,
this is
of
where you got
cour-
dumped, isn't it?
Of course,
I got
but like
dumped there.
I'm worried. So like Serena has like an extremely severe tree nut allergy.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like we can't like, and we'll still like go and like go out and like travel, but like if we end up spending most of our time at the resort, that's what I'm worried about. Like I don't want
Right.
Yeah.
that to be
Okay,
like our
That's
thing.
very fair. That is a long... I was saying that earlier. Remember, I was like, I was stuck on a 22-hour flight with a producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to Bali. You know what? Let me think about this for you.
Okay.
But you're going to go to Italy.
We're going to Italy.
All right, Italy, and again, maybe you can get some travel advice from Victoria and Greg there. I know they're big Italy fans. Everyone goes to Italy. Italy's fine. There's no knock on Italy. I just think, there's Italy's. I put it this way. I feel like Europe's not going to change as much as like some of these other places you can travel that are kind of getting not globalized, but there's a lot of places that are losing their culture, and it's like get there before other Americans and Western cultures ruin it.
I don't know how long ago. And he was like, I'm working on this new show and I want you to be a part of it. And I was like,
No.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back. So this is when Kaitlyn spoke with her former producer about the new show that Grocery Store Joe is on, Goats.
but so Elon called me, I don't know how long ago. And he was like, I'm working on this new show and I want you to be a part of it. And I was like,
No.
I didn't say no. I said, tell me more. And he goes, I can't. And I was like, then absolutely not. And then he said, because him and I got along really well on Bachelor, and we just like were the weirdest people together. And I feel like he's the reason I actually became the Bachelorette, because all the higher ups didn't want me to be, but Alon like fought for me to be.
All right, so there it is, folks. Kaitlyn Bristowe says Alon was the reason and of course he was one of the producers that was credited for the glory days of The Bachelor. He has since left. I believe was the producer for F-Boy Island, could be wrong, and now has this new reality show. We will be covering it in one aspect or another because Tayshia and Grocery Store Joe are both on it.
And he's like, come on, Kaitlyn, can you imagine like making TV together again? And I was like, no, because you are an evil genius, and I've worked way too hard to build a brand for me to go on a show of the greatest reality stars of all time, and you make me possibly look stupid. What if they asked me like a business question, and I was like, what's a margin? Like, what if I just didn't? What if I look stupid? So you're going on.
But by the way, she's got a great point. I mean, she's built this brand. Reality TV, you don't have control over. When she's talked with Jason Tartick on his podcast, Trading Secrets, she mentioned that the only way she would do reality is if she had some sort of producer or executive control. Yeah, and I totally understand. It's one thing to not want to look stupid because of your own ego. It's another when it's business. And it's like, yeah, imagine if she says something that makes her look dumb, and then some investor who was going to distribute her wine company across the globe is like, no, she's kind of a ditz or something. And so, because obviously Kaitlyn can play into the humor and other aspects that make a show good, but then she's got to put on her CEO hat here.
This is literally what I'm doing next
So
week.
is Tayshia. You and Tayshia are going on.
Yeah, I think that's like, I guess that fair is fair. Like, so he called me. He's like, hey, I'm doing a new show. Just wanting, just putting some feelers out there.
Yeah.
If you're interested, it's going to be a comedy reality show. Would you be interested? I was like, yeah. And that was like the extent
I
of
do think it's going to be great.
that was the extent of the conversation, because
Yeah.
and then I had to think about it for like probably like 5 to 7 minutes, and I was like, do I want to?
A solid time.
Business
time
days.
zone.
I was
5
like,
to 7 business days.
Well,
Minutes.
do I want to go back on reality
Right.
TV? And I really like Alon and I really like Bill, and I was
Yeah.
like, I think it'll just be fun.
Yeah. Oh, Bill's doing it too.
Yeah. So
So there is no greater success story in reality TV than Grocery Store Joe. I'm sorry. You guys remember, he didn't make it past night 1. I'm not knocking him for this. He was so attractive and charming in the most subtle way, just like a normal Midwestern guy. That people were like, how did they not choose him? And he kind of went viral, and then went on Bachelor in Paradise, and the rest is history. So I mean, he is the greatest success story ever from a night one failure, really.
I was like, if this ends up working out for me and they want me, like, yeah, I'll do it.
Is it an elimination, or do you even know much about this? I know you can't say much.
Can you compare
but-
it to another reality show?
Yeah.
So I don't watch reality competition shows besides The Bachelor.
Right.
But from your knowledge, what can
But
you
from my
compare it
knowledge,
to?
it is. I have no idea.
That's not the answer we want, Joe.
Okay, because I could tell you.
Awful answer. I reject it.
Terrible.
Like here, no, like I was there.
Yeah.
Like it's.
We know you were there. Thank you
love
for
this.
that
I
clickbait
love this.
title. I
Yes.
was there.
I was present for
I was
it.
there.
Do
I
people
think-
get eliminated?
While it was happening, I remember thinking to myself, and I'm not a liar.
Yeah.
Eh.
Depends. but
I
yeah.
remember thinking like, this is gonna be great. Like,
Really?
this is going to be great.
All right, there it is. So Grocery Store Joe pumping up the stock value of his new show, The Goats. We'll have to see how it goes down. And of course, shout out to Kaitlyn and her co-host here, her friend, her Canadian pal, Bailey Stanworth. They're wearing matching like windbreaker tracksuits. Oh gosh, you gotta love the Canadians over here doing their thing. Look forward to seeing them soon. All right, well, let's do that. I think that's it for right now. We'll have more content coming your way. As you guys know, I'm in Tennessee. Like I said, do me a favor just to help me out while I'm traveling here. Hit the like button, please. You know, I don't beg for it every episode, but it will help get us back into the algorithm, which we're going to need to do to continue making content. So if you like what I'm doing out here, hit the like button, leave a comment, and we'll be back with more after this.